Greetings, citizens of Tetris. It's your old pal, Van Dweller, back with more classic Tetris Monthly Masters event for May 2025. What we've got for you tonight is, what do we have? Where is it? There it is. It's the purple bracket, the preliminary rounds of purple. It's going to be Shqdwnight versus Somalian Captain. The winner will take on Cobra. And this is all for a spot in the top 16 to eventually take on Mega Masters runner-up Shqdwnight. So, yeah, that's going to be a good one. Shqdwnight versus Captain, winner versus Cobra. And the winner gets the gets the prize of having to face, one of the best players on the actual planet. So that is what we are doing tonight. Let's take a look at our top 16 situation. Oh, Purple. By the way, Shqdwnight, do you have an alt? Is that right? I seem to remember that, but I don't know. Is it just Shqdwnight with a K or something? Anyway, that is our top 16 situation. We've got 6 of our 8 top 16 open spots determined. The only ones left are purple and orange. So that purple will be done tonight. And I don't have a scheduling slide updated, but I will just tell you verbally. Tomorrow night, 5:30 Texas time, that would be about 22:30 UTC. That's going to be Masters Red Pink Top 16. That is going to be Dangler versus Fractal, and the winner versus Blue Scooty. Then that's Thursday. Friday, we've got a Das Masters solo match, Salted Sofa versus Poopy. And then we have a Das Masters orange bracket. That is going to be Knight versus Doodle. Unfortunately, Sharky had to drop, but because Sharky was seed number 32, we could very easily just move up 33 and not affect any of the matchups in the tournament. So we did go ahead and do that. So Saturday, the 17th, is going to be Knight versus Doodle, winner versus Fractal in Das Masters. And then we have another top 16 bracket that is also on Saturday. That's going to be Masters Green Aqua. That's a top 16. Dog versus Tugi, SV versus Deck, and then the winner versus the winner to determine a top 4 finisher. So there's just Tetris going on. I'll make a scheduling slide, but if you want to see the most up-to-date thing, go into Discord, check out the events tab. That is always going to be the most up-to-date. Van Dweller, what's your favorite player? My favorite player is Jarren Duran, the left fielder for the Boston Red Sox. Jay in the window, what's going on? Burbia, thanks for the Prime sub, by the way. 6 months. Appreciate it. And I guess we don't have the Knight Armstrong Pixelandi, the orange bracket, scheduled yet. So I don't know if that is being held up for some reason. As soon as I find out, I will let you know. A couple other pieces of news, by the way. We have opened qualifiers for June. I was kind of like, are we going to do June? Are we not going to do June? There should be Tetris in June. Someone should have a chance to win CTWC and Masters in the same month. So we have opened June Masters event qualifying. That is open for, Masters and Das Masters. I made the announcement in the channel. So that is a thing. Also, July, we have 100% officially confirmed, or at least I have stated out in front of thousands of people, that July will have 2 alternate tournaments. So instead of regular Masters event, we will have Stupid Tetris Monthly. Stupid Tetris Monthly is returning for the first time since 2021. We will have that. That is just a collection of alternate game modes, the kind of things you would see like on Friday night at CTWC, like speed runs and no next box and, drought. We're going to probably do drought. We'll probably have Vits off, that kind of thing. So that more details will emerge as I create the details out of thin air. And then also, instead of Das Masters, we will have Tap Masters. That is going to happen in July as well. That's going to be a tapping-oriented tournament. Basically, no rolling. a single finger attack. DAS will be allowed to be, if you want to qualify with DAS because you're not a tapper, that's fine. You can qualify in with DAS or tapping, whatever you got to do. It will be a 32 player, both of these will be 32 player tournaments, just like our current tournaments. So Stupid Tetris Monthly and Tap Masters in July should be pretty fun. Be prepared for that. And the other thing, just to let you know, is that in the past, 2020 and 2021, we had Stupid Tetris Monthly. We ran those as multi-tier events with Masters, Challengers, Futures, Hopefuls, Community. Everything was stupid all the way down. And, it's even though it's called Stupid Tetris Monthly, the event is a real test of actual skill. They're not random, meme kind of things that there's no skill. It is a test of Tetris skill. We have decided retroactively to count those as Masters wins, just like we do with Faster Masters and No Cap November and Lone Star. So those will count. The two people who will be promoted to having Masters wins. Well, Hydrant Dude already has one. Hydrant will now have two. And Scotto Bozo, who was the 2021 winner, is now inducted into the Hall of Masters. And we will update all of our previous winners gallery and everything like that to include those two players. I think it makes total sense. And so that is why I'm doing it. Okay, so just wanted to give you those two bits of news. Let's take a look at our rules. This is a 32-player single elimination flat bracket tournament based on the 1989 version of Tetris released by Nintendo for the Nintendo Entertainment System. On NTSC consoles, players can play on emulator or console so long as the game mechanics, appearance, and statistics are unmodified. Players can use any controller so long as there's no big buttons or turbo functions used, whether electronical or mechanical. Biological turbo only. Players should not receive any in-game real-time advice, and they should not pause unless the commentator tells them. Level 18 starts all the way through. Players, please put your level 39 super kill screen on. We will be using same piece sets re-rolled. Points over the max out count. Best of 5 throughout. And the winner gets absolutely something. That's a share at a prize pool, which stands at $225. The way that the prize pool grows and attracts players and incents them to continue to play and put in the time to get better. The way to support that whole thing is to use the Matcherino command, bring up the links. The second one is the one for Masters. Mega Masters is still open. That's the first link. Second link is Masters. Click on that. That'll take you to the landing page for this tournament with our prize pool partner, Matcherino. And then top right-hand corner is where you log in. You can use your existing Twitch and YouTube account to log in and then use the mustard colored button that says contribute to the prize pool. Our goal is $2,000. As always, we have not missed our goal in a long time. So I know we just had Mega Masters, but year-round Tetris is also very important. In addition to our annual championship, we got to support these players year-round to make sure we got prize pools to attract them and reward them. So please do help us out. Use the Matcherino command if you are watching live to bring up the links. If you want to support the channel, you can do so at patreon.com/monthlytetris. And that allows you to make an ongoing pledge of support on a monthly or annual basis to make sure the Classic Tetris Monthly continues to happen. Thank you to the people on the screen who are doing that, supporting the thing they love so it doesn't, go away without a fight. Double sticker, and community level members, Mega Master, Scott Gray, Jay in the Window, K9 Tacky, Masters supporters, Corporal 381, and Shall Be Satisfied. Bracket sponsors, Troy Dan, Kim M, Rogue Potato, Cat Kit, McMonkey, and Mila Tempest. What's your favorite Tetris player? Richard Bagden, Berenyi _KFT, and Corian. Those are my two favorites. Okay. So, thank you to the patrons. Also, one quick thing for the merch store. It exists, ctm.wtf. Go get CTM merch, and you can also gift merch to the Twitch chat because the store knows when we're online and gives you a button that you can use to trigger an automated giveaway and do all that kinds of stuff. So thank you to those of you who have done that. Let me bring up the thingamajig. And we've got one player and Shadow KNAHT. Okay, got it. Blah, blah, blah. Number not number 6. You are number 21. And we're going to put a K in front of your name. And then you will appear. You will appear. Yes, you have appeared. Shadow. Oh. What evil lurks in the hearts of men, the shadow knows. Okay. Let me go ahead and just adjust these cams. And Sure. We got camerage. Yes, we got a full. Oh my goodness, we got full rolling here. I think we might, for the first time in a long time, can we show you like full rolling? Almost. Yeah, I would like to get the hand motion on the screen. It's hard to do it though, just because of the way cameras are, but we'll have some hand motion going on there, and we'll get Somalians going as well. Okay, by the way, just want to shout out, this is what peak CTM setup looks like, and this isn't bad either, because at least I got a whole vertical shot. So both of them are excellent, both of them are totally compliant, and thank you, players, for giving me a great palette from which to work. Really appreciate it. You're a hero. You are. Somalian, one of the genuine good guys in the Tetris community. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and give these players some pieces, and that will signal to them that I am ready to go, and it will allow them to start when they are ready to start. The pieces are AF9D4D, AF9D4D. Oh, I can't wait for Stupid Tetris Monthly. I can't wait for Tap Masters. I'm going to go work on the rule sets all right, Shqdwnight, you were on. I don't even need the seed checker, but I guess I'll use it.
You just got seed checked.
Oh, wait. There you go. Now you're good. All right, you are good now. All right, looks like both players are ready. And let's go ahead and get him started. Purple, round 1. Shadow versus Somalian. Purple bracket. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. And if I had my facts thing open, then I would tell you all about these players, although one person on YouTube doesn't want me to talk anymore. So I guess I'll probably just stop talking. Whoop says, this will be the first STM you catch live. Looking forward to it. Yeah, it's going to be a really fun event. It was fun back then. And, you know, as much as the name is Stupid Tetris Monthly, it is not like a joke, right? It's not like just totally random modes where your skill doesn't matter. Like, the whole point is that your skill should matter, and just it's a test of different Tetris skills, right? Than just being able to, you know, stack in regular Tetris for, you know, for high scores or other things. So I'm looking forward to doing it again. It's been far too long. I should have been doing it every year, and I guess from now on, so long as there's CTM, we're going to try to do STM every single year. On the left side, it is Shqdwnight, who qualified into this tournament with a 1.25 million average of the best 2 scores played in a 60-minute qualifying period. Shadow is from the US of A. Has an overall PB of 1.44 million. That's good for about 74th on the PB list. Tetris for Shadow, 105. And a Tetris for Somalian, 108. Shadow is a winner of a community tournament, Tier 1, back in May of 2023. Also won Tier 3 back in March 2024, and now is the 21 seed in the Masters event. Shqdwnight played in Silver CTWC in 2023, so you may have seen him there as well. And pretty decent seed here in this Masters event. 176 for Shadow, 154 for Somalian. And on the right side, it is Somalian, who also you may call Captain or Le Captain or Le or whatever. I mean, it's crazy. He hasn't been Somalian for a million years, but we still call him that because I don't know. I don't want to call somebody else Captain for some reason. It's weird. Anyway, Somalian qualified in with 1.18 million. There's an overall PB of 1.63 million. That's good for about 58th. Somalian is a two-time Hopeful Circuit winner, both in 2022, and a two-time Challengers Circuit winner, January 2022 and July 21. Somalian played in Mega Masters the last, I think, in every Mega Masters, right? Somalian was in 2025, right? So we did our first Mega Masters 2022. Somalian played that year. That was when it was only top 32. So he kind of made it into that top 32. And it's played every year since. Also played in the gold bracket in CTWC 2021, 22, and 24. Also played CTEC in the online years in 2020 and 2021. 342 for Somalian, 268 for Shadow. I need to mention the RRR after Captain. It is fun because if you go to certain channels that use like text to speech for the chat, you know, it is funny to hear it go, "Le Captain RRR says," you know, it just sounds funny. RRR. 412 for Somalian, 359 for Shadow. I've been told on YouTube that I need to stop talking and that they will pay. They want to know if there's a patron tier level where they can just get these live streams without me talking and just the game and flex style. So I guess I have to stop talking, guys. 438 for Somalian through 103, 384 for Shadow. Down with YouTube? Oh, no. YouTube is fine. And then there's the other guy who is convinced that Akatu is cheating and all keyboard players are cheating. But he turned out to be a good guy after someone explained it to him. But he was pretty aggro with that cheating accusation. It's like, guys, you know, if you stumble into something that, you know, you're just learning about, just chill. You don't have to go in and go, they must be cheating. I just got here and I know everyone's cheating. You know, just chill. Just relax. 553 Somalian, 499 for Shadow. And that's, you know, that's good advice anyway. Like if you're new to an online community, don't go in there and just start, you know, making a million posts and talking. Check the vibe, you know. 579 Somalian, 524 for Shadow on 19. Like just, you know, just like relax. Get a feel for the place. Somalian trying to bring this down. Has kind of a T-spin set up there, but just has to fill it in. It's not going to wait around. So now he's got to bring this down. Of course, both players rolling, as you can see on the screen, since they've given us a lot of cam to work with. So now we can really get to look at what they're doing with their hands. 592 for Somalian. Tetris for Shadow, 589. But anyway, after the keyboard cheating guy, you know, after people explained it to him, he was like, oh, okay. And then he was chill and he was fine. 6-4. They're not cheating. Akatu's not cheating. 675 for Somalian. 646 for Shadow. Jay in the window says, I didn't talk for years here. I should go back to that. Oh, no, no, no. You're a net positive. Unless, are you like, is that your alt, the keyboard cheating guy? That's not you, is it? 763 for Somalian, 731 for Shadow. All right, Shadow able to make and fill in a long bar dependency on the left side. It's great when you have that option and the bar is there and you can execute on it. All right, Jay in the window has no alts. Or YouTube. You don't use alts. Good. At one point, I had just like 16 alts. Including, I had one that I used to like troll Somalian with. I think I called it Ethiopian General. And I just used to go into chats where Somalian was and I would just say stupid stuff. 872 for Shadow, 867 for Somalian. I think I had one that was like Bear playing Tetris or just different, something playing Tetris. Oh, I also had Stop playing Tetris. That was a good one. 967 for Somalian. God, I hope I didn't say anything, monkas on those accounts. I don't think so. I don't really say bad things on the internet. Max out for Somalian. Shadow is about one away. A70 Somalian. Shadow's got the max out on 28. Just a few lines away from level 29. That speed is going to double. Tetris Jim. Who is Tetris Jim? Jim. I do like that one. All right. Shadow is into 29. A89. Somalian is in at B17. So see what these players have got post 29. They're both rollers, so you think, oh, well, rollers can just infinitely play 29, but people are at different, different places on their rolling journey. Somalian does have a rollover. Shadow doesn't have the rollover yet. B07 Shadow, B40 for Somalian. Shadow's board starting to climb, or it stopped climbing because it stopped. So that's going to be a top out for Shadow at B07, and Somalian is good and takes game number 1. Well, we should make Akatu put text on the screen that says not cheating so that, we have proof that they're not cheating. Ramble on Ian. This is the first time I actually understand the full handle. Thank you for explaining, Vandy. Oh, you mean Somalian? All right, C58. So there you go. Where's my points? Here they are. Here they are. Good. Okay. That was an intentional top out, guys, just so you know. All right, new pieces, players. Call it Stupid Tetris Monthly 2022. We might have to do that. That's a thought. That is a thought. $421720. Okay. And they are just ready to go. Game number 2, Somalian is up 1 game to none. Of course, do I have to explain the... What's the movie Captain? What's that Captain? Whatever the one where the Somali pirates took over the boat. That is what it's from. I'm going to explain everyone's screen name now. Wait, they made a movie out of that meme? Yeah, they made a movie out of that meme. Can you imagine? It went right from meme to film. Just like the Fred movie. Or that, who's that girl who does that character where she's like an annoying singer? Just like that. Yeah, Captain Phillips, there it is. Like they made a movie out of that character. That is it a movie or a TV series? I think it was a movie. 95,000 for Shadow, 116 for Somalian. Explain the spelling of Shqdwnight. Well, instead of a Q, it's an A. Because if you kind of cut the little tail off the Q, it looks like a lowercase a little bit. You're welcome. 202 for Shadow, 160 for Somalian. All right, the Vits and the Tetris for Somalian 183. A Shadow with a little overhang of the L piece. So that's going to create the need for some extra burning here for Shadow. Explain what J is in a window. Yeah. Well, the next box, right? Is the next box window. So, you know, there'll be times when I don't think I say it as much anymore. But I think in the past I have said, "Oh, there's a J in the window," right? The next box, as I used to just call it, the window. And then he made a screen name of it. And of course, you know, I think his name begins with J or has a J in it or something. Yeah, why would I say J in the window in the past? Oh, there's a J in the window. I can't remember the last time I said that, like, earnestly. Like, why would I say that? 348 for Somalian, 283 for Shadow. Explain why crowbar is spelled wrong. Why is crowbar spelled wrong? I don't know what that means. Tetris Shadow 332, Tetris Somalian 374. It just is. Okay. Summer B is here. 420 for Somalian, 378 for Shadow. Shadow 6 lines until 19. Speed's going to increase by 50%. What's up? Kingsman. Good evening, Vandy with a lowercase v. Yes, it is styled with a lowercase v. And you said Vandy instead of Van. You're growing as a person, Kanksman. 501 for Somalian. Shadow into 19 at 473. Gets a Tetris 497. Somalian takes a single into 19. Long bar down. Tetris. Vandy, is this the same Somalian from that one Tom Hanks movie? Yeah, this is actually the actor. He was also in that Nathan Fielder, Emma Stone show. Oh, Somalian with that long bar hang in column 9, but the long bar gets over to bring it down. Got another Tetris buried there, so that board comes down. 613 for Somalian, 562 for Shadow. $6.50 for Somalian, $6.27 Shadow. I think Cobra, you've got your finger on something here. 632 Shadow Tetris, 662 now. 691 for Somalian. Tetris Shadow 757, 728 Somalian. Another Tetris Somalian working one row off the bottom, level 25 for him, 26 for Shadow. Somalian back by 10 lines and has a lead in score. So Shadow has got to gonna have to make up some of this, or it's looking like potentially on level 29. Winner of this matchup plays Cobra. Tetris Shadow 825 on level 28. Somalian gonna uncover the well. Long bar in. Tetris 933. Long bar in. Tetris Shadow into 29 at 866. Somalian still at 970. Still on 28. All right, Shadow building and knocking down. Trying to go for the Tetris, but also trying not to overcommit. Somalian with the A12. He's on 29. Shadow trying to find a Tetris here. And now will need a long bar on the right side just to knock this down. The long bar gets over 898. A32 for Somalian. Shadow's board climbing and might be cut off on the right side, and it is. Somalian hangs on to take game number 2 and go up 2-0. Intentional top out. Yep. Seems good. Okay, players, you can take the moment you need, but the pieces are here for when you're ready. So if you're just joining us and if you have not checked Discord, we are going to do CTM June. So qualifying is open for both open, for Masters and DAS Masters. So you can go ahead and get your qualifiers done. Okay, both players are ready. Game number 3. Shadow needs to win to stay in this tournament. What about my break? I don't need a break. I was just having a bad day. I don't need a break. If I get to June and there's no CTM, I'm gonna be sad about it. I know that in advance. I deserve a break though. Well, I get enough breaks throughout the month. I mean, I always deserve a break. I can take a break whenever I want, you know? Take what you want and pay for it, right? Tetris Somalian 47,000. Yeah, and I don't need one summer. I am good. Yeah, if June comes and there's no CTM, I will be disappointed about it. I will not like it. Okay, players kind of weathering a drought. Shadow going to cover the well just in time. Oh no. A couple of bars here though are going to help knock this down. And just the bars keep on coming, and this is pretty tough because Shadow can't use any of them for Tetrises. All he can use them for is, you know, down stacking or at least surviving this dig, and just can't seem to get one when the well is open. And there's one when the well is open. Finally, long bar. That was a lot of bars. I don't know if I thanked Ayo Pidgeotto for the tier 1 sub, but thank you. Appreciate that. So yeah, it's really rough to see so many bars go by and you can't use them for Tetrises. And really, Somalia did not use a lot of them for Tetrises either, because they're pretty much tied in score. I mean, Shadow ahead by 4 lines, but it's really close in score. That was a lot of bars. And you get to the, you know, toward the end of this game, you say, oh, well, there's a lot of bars. Yeah, okay, but they were all like 40 lines in to the game. Where have they been since? B Cantor. Your comment is about 3 years out of date. B Cantor. $258 for Somalian, $275 for Shadow. There were a lot of people commenting on YouTube back when rolling was emerging, you know, keep rolling, and then they see me rolling, and whatever other song has rolling in it. There's a lot of comments on YouTube that would say that. So, welcome to the Classic Tetris community. But you missed your shot at all the rolling comments. AI wrote you some pretty sick lyrics. Oh my goodness. And now you got to make the music video with AI. Just make one of those AI music videos. $375 for Shadow, $378 for Somalian. All right, see, we could have used some of those bars like right here and now, but they're all bunched up in the early part of this game. 411 Somalian gets a Tetris 434. Shadow gets one 416. Shadow into 19 at 466. Little adjust for the long bar. Tetris Somalian 483. Still two more available. There's one. And I think he's just not even going to worry about getting another one before 19. Back in the old days, players would really like over-index on getting that last Tetris before 19, and they would build up their stacks way high and really screw up their boards going into what at that time was the most pivotal part of the game, the 19 transition, because they were like, oh, I've got to get it before 19 hits. And in the modern era, players are just like, you know, they'll try to get it, of course, because they're always trying to Tetris, but much more comfortable just taking the single or double or whatever into 19. 544 for Somalian, 586 for Shadow. Somalian's board is kind of a mess. So we'll see what he can do to uncover. That T's going to help. That's going to help. Oh, my goodness. That bar will help with a double. So the board coming down for Somalian. He's trying to bring this down. And it's succeeding. Almost there. Oh, that's going to be a great L piece for the left side. So he's set up for a Tetris. He's going to have to cover. He uncovers. And that, oh no, he's going to hang the bar. So now he's going to find another bar and get it over. And there's the bar and it gets over for the Tetris. So he's just going to try to survive here. He's 50 lines to go until level 29. Shadow now in the lead, 636 for Shadow. Somalian tucks in a Vitz, and there's just a lot of left and right and tucking here and tucking there, and my word. Tetris dirty for Shadow, 705. Somalian at 627. And he's like, no, I'm not going to give up. I want to win this one right here. Right now, I've got a 2-0 lead. And he just wants to win. And there's a dirty Tetris for Somalian at 668. That is just crazy. Like survival and then like near death. And then survival again. What is up, Chen? A dirty. Okay, yeah. Shadow open for a dirty. Waiting on a bar. Uncovers. He's one row off the bottom. Long bar in Tetris Shadow, 815. He's ahead by 130,000 points, ahead by about 8 lines. Another dirty for Shadow. He's 3 lines away from 29. Somalian into 28 now. He's got a 700,000. He's back by 150,000 points. Shadow is into 29 at about 860. Somalian. Center well Tetris into 29 at 740. He's back by 120,000 points. Shadow now trying to eke out whatever points he can. That left side for Somalian is going to be a problem, and that is not going to be survivable. And Shadow is going to take game number 3. Somalian not really able to get a clean entry into 29, which would have allowed him maybe to chase this down. So a gritty game for both players, 8, 6, 7 and 800s into 29. All right, both players are ready, or at least they're ready to know what their seeds are. 772164, 772164. Sue is cooking something. I don't know what it is, but it smells good. Okay, 772164. Both players are on seed. It is time for game number 4. Somalian up 2-1. Shadow looking to tie this to force a deciding game number 5. I can't tell exactly what it is. It might be like chicken tikka masala. I would love it if that were the case. I don't know if any of you subscribe to The Atlantic, by the way, the magazine. Probably not, but there's an article in The Atlantic about chicken sandwiches. It's not a very deep article. It just says people like chicken sandwiches, and we thought there was like peak chicken sandwich in 2019, but nope. We still have a high level of interest in chicken sandwiches. That's basically the article. You lived during the peak chicken sandwich? I think it's peak chicken sandwich right now. Who thought it would be a deep article about chicken sandwiches? I don't know what a deep article would mean. I mean, but, you know, it was just like, well, chicken sandwiches are a thing. We thought it was kind of peaking, but it is not peaking. And chicken sandwiches are up like 20%, and burgers are down 3%. $105 for Somalian, $102 for Shadow. Well, anyway, if you are a subscriber to The Atlantic, which I'm sure many of you here in this chat are, you can read the chicken sandwich article. Supermark says, yeah, I'm loving it. Reference to McDonald's. 154 for Somalian, 172 for Shadow. I did see, what did I see in chicken sandwich news? Yeah, there was, report of the week. That review bruh guy, he reviewed a new chicken sandwich. Maybe I need to do a chicken sandwich report. Just all the chicken sandwich news. 223 for Somalian. Tetris Shadow 242, 246 Somalian. So a few thousand points apart, same lines, and Tetris Shadow. It's a failing magazine. I mean, a lot of the magazines are not what they once were. Of course, people don't have the kind of attention span to like read a magazine article. And Substack is replacing a lot of that for people who do. Okay, Somalian going to complete the Vits. And he's giving us a slideshow demonstration of the Vits. .316 Shadow, .316 Somalian. Oh, that's pretty good, Summer B. Maybe I need to make my own chicken sandwich food truck. What about that? 319 for Somalian, 322 for Shadow. Another Tetris Somalian. Vandy knows how to make chicken. Yeah, I mean, you just pound some chicken out and you bread it. You know, you dredge it, bread it, fry it. I mean, yeah, just make it. I mean, it's not hard. All right, Somalian with that kind of Corian bar there, double flip of the bar. Yeah, you dredge it. What, does dredge have another meaning in Europe or something? 461 for Somalian, 440 for Shadow. Okay, we're virtually tied in score, but there is a little bit of separation here. Now that the lines are tied, Somalian up by about one Tetris. Tetris is here worth 22,800. That's almost exactly Somalian's lead right now when the lines are tied. And we're just a few lines away from 19, and that speed increase. Speed's going to increase by 50%. Pieces have now turned yellow or orange, red, and white. Is that a yellow? Orange? It's orange. Anyway, the Whataburger colors. I guess I have fast food on the mind because I'm thinking chicken sandwiches and Whataburger. My goodness. Okay, Tetris Shadow 614, Somalian at 655 can make a long bar dependency because a long bar was in the window. Eye in the window. Tetris for Somalian 713, Tetris for Shadow 697. You might have put that back in my lexicon, Jay. Long bar down, Tetris Somalian 747. There's one Shadow 754, 2 lines apart, 7,000 points apart. And these players have not been getting too far past the 29 transition, so seems like most of their scoring is going to be done unless someone can break out sometime in the next 50 lines. Tetris Shadow 847. There's one Somalian 865. 17,000 points apart. Well, maybe more than that actually when the lines are tied. Shadow 983, 962 for Somalian. Oh no, Somalian's left side is a problem now. Gets a bar over. He did end up blocking the well. And now reopens this other well. It would be good for a Tetris if he can. Oh no, and he kind of brought back that bar. He had it rolled over to the left, but he kind of accidentally brought it back as he was trying to roll the next piece. That's a top out for Somalian, and we all of a sudden have a decider. All right, the max out for Shadow. And yeah, 29 not going to come, but Shadow is good. Come for the sweep, save for the decider, for real. Your computer crashed. All right, we're going to put the pieces there just so you can have them. Supermark says, I'm not that young, and I don't think I've read a magazine cover to cover in your life. Yeah, I like to read them cover to cover. For the most part, you know, I mean, maybe not every word, but like, yeah, most magazines will have, you know, 3 or 4 feature articles and then a bunch of short little things. And I don't know, I'll read like 3 of the, if it's a magazine I care about, I'll read 3 of the features and then a lot of the littles. But we used to read Nintendo Power every month back in the Wii days. I didn't even know Nintendo Power was a thing back in the Wii days. I didn't even know it was still around. I do like magazines, you know. I do like them still. Just kind of hang out, sit down, little magazine. The problem is, you know, you can get a magazine for like $3 or $4 and you get a bunch of articles from across a spectrum of people. And now, like, those same people are all just have Substacks, and you got to sit there and pay like $8 a month to read one person. So it's kind of, and then there are just other things that are paid. I mean, it's good because those writers are able to make a living, which is great. On the other hand, I just like a thing where, there's a lot of different writers under one umbrella for a small price, You just saw your cat drinking pool water? Oh my goodness. All right, I'm going to refresh both of these streams, by the way, just to make sure that they are synced up as much as possible. Vandy, can they use a power glove? I don't know what advantage the power glove would have, but it seems like it's electronical turbo. All right, looks like both players are ready. What was once a best of 5, now a best of 3. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Get that decider on the screen. There are no Canadians, so we'll just use our regular decider emote right there. All right, Tetris, Somalian, Kafka's cat says, Canadians. Oh my God, what? We're a Canadian-friendly zone. I love Canadians. $69,000 for Somalian as we get underway. 71 for Shadow. Tetris, Somalian. The power glove gives a tremendous psychological advantage. I went back, I was around during, that time, and I was directly marketed to about the power glove. I never wanted it. It always looked stupid. I knew it wasn't going to do anything. I knew it was just a cynical cash grab by Nintendo. A rush product. I could tell, even at that tender age, I knew it. The regular controller was just fine. I did have, like, people would buy, like, relatives and stuff would, like, buy you other controllers. So I did have, like, a third-party controller that was like, it's kind of flight stick controller. Like, it was like a third-party controller. I didn't mind that. It had very clicky buttons, which I really liked clicking on. My childhood innocence was shattered by the power glove? No, it had been long since shattered by that time. 237 for Somalian, 203 for Shadow. It did have a turbo button switch, yes. Every older person referring to controllers as remotes, I never did that. Back then, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what my elders were calling it. The U-Force? I don't know what the U-Force is. 330 for Somalian, 272 for Shadow. All right, the lines are tied. Somalian up by about 60,000. You had a controller with auto fire. It ruled. Yeah, I did have the NES Advantage and the Max. Because, I don't know, I didn't buy it with my own money. Like, people just gift it to you because you had a Nintendo. And they go, oh, here's a controller. Did I have a Game Genie? I did not have a Game Genie, no. I didn't really care about like messing up the game or cheating the game. Like I didn't care about cheats, you know. And that was what it was really marketed as, like, oh, you can sort of cheat, you know, oh, you can make Mario do this and that. And I just like playing the games as they were. All right, a little adjustment there for Somalian, and really had nothing to put in those places, but all right, it's working out. He's all right. He's still here. He's fine. 493 for Somalian. It's a lot of effort for very little gain for Somalian for those adjustments, but it's all right. He's still here. He's fighting. $517 Somalian, 461 for Shadow. Tetris Somalian. Now, when the lines are tied, still about like 60, 70,000 point difference. Yeah, they're one apart now. It's about 60,000. Tetris Shadow 531, 588 for Somalian. Shadow's into 19 at 578. Somalian 611. 3 lines to go. Is going to Tetris into 19 at 635. That's the first 600K transition of the match. Somalian Tetris, 666,591 for Shadow. Tetris for Shadow, 618. And Shadow ahead by 9 lines. Back by about 50,000. Tetris Shadow 675. There's one Somalian 730. All right, little delayed burn. Going to work out there for Somalian. Shadow's board. Okay, he's going to uncover long bar over Tetris 710. Somalian 715-9. Shadow with a deep channel in column 3, which gets blocked. Now he's like dependent on 2 long bars, gets 1. There's another for the dirty Tetris 740. We do have a match after this one. The winner of this, hey, you got to keep playing. That's your reward, is you have to keep playing. And you got to play against Cobra. 854 Somalian, 786 for Shadow Longbar Tetris Somalian. And Shadow looking to get reestablished. Okay, open on the right side. Shadow 798. Waiting out the bar. Tetris for Shadow 830. Somalian Tetris is 959. So Somalian up nearly 100,000 points and behind by 10 lines. So Shadow really, you know, if we're not going to be scoring a lot of points post 29, then Shadow really needs to go. Either that or just dig deep and find something on 29. Somalian with the max out, A26. 968 Shadow. Somalian still on 27. The Tetris for Shadow, A06. He's got the max out. Somalian, though, still ahead. Long bar goes in. Tetris Somalian is on 28. And oh no, Shadow's bored. What can he do to bring this down? Okay, long bar goes in. Flat long bar. Kingsman loves it. That right side is going to be tough. A18 for Shadow. That is going to be a top out for Shadow at A18, but Shadow had some fight in him. He was down two games to, no, what was it? Was it tied? Yeah, it was tied. But yeah, for sure, it looked like Somalian was going to run away with it, but Shadow did push Somalian, so it is going to be Somalian moving on to round 2, though, and take on Cobra. GG, Shadow. You did great. Hope to see you here again in subsequent months. And you've got a D in your name, which means, you know, you are welcome to have deciders. All right, we're going to set up the next match with Cobra in a moment. And, yeah, it's just going to be a couple of minutes, and we'll have Cobra versus Somalian. Okay, players and viewers, I just need one more minute here, so let's go ahead and just continue to watch our players warm up. I'll be right back. Oh, okay. I guess Cobra is signaling his clan affiliation. The Carnation. All right, players, I'm going to go ahead and put the pieces in the chat. Thank you for bearing with me there. Just had some things to do. It's round 2. Pieces are here, 6BAC0C. Thank you, Deck, for the pin. Appreciate that. What happened in the first hour? So yeah, Somalian won before this. Oh, yeah, I get it. I had to update it to round 2. All right, so the pieces are here. 6BAC0C. 6BACOC. All right. Good luck, salami, man. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. But okay. Sounds friendly to me. Oh, because he's Somalian, right? Salami man. All right, looks like both players are ready. It is game 1 of this round 2 matchup between Cobra and Somalian in the Classic Tetris Monthly Masters event. Purple bracket, the winner goes to the top 16 in 3, 2, 1 Tetris. And we're starting off with the LIJOZS. Oh no, we got 6 in a row. We apparently had a the golden opening or the rainbow start or whatever. We did have that. I guess it was still in the past week or so. Is that right? And I didn't catch it while it was live. I had to watch a clip of it. And man, was that exhilarating. My life has changed. Everything's different. On the left side's Cobra, seed number 12, qualified into the into round 2 in virtue of that top 16 qualifier. That was a what? A 1.422 million. That was the average of his best 2 games played in a 1-hour qualifying period. Cobra is from the United States of America. Has a PB of 4.66 million. That's good for about 17th on the leaderboard. Although that leaderboard is not updated with that particular score. Cobra also 13th ranked player on Pumpy Heart's Premier Poll at premierpoll.com. That's a ranking of Tetris players in both open and DAS play styles. So check it out, Premier Poll, Premier with an E at the end. Because, yeah, because why not? Cobra is a Challenger Circuit winner. In fact, won the very last one, or at least the last one for now. There could be some context in which Challenger Circuit comes back, but right now, Cobra is the last ever winner of the Challenger Circuit. That was November 2024. It's also top 4 in our Lone Star event in Austin, Texas last year. Unfortunately, there doesn't look like there's going to be a Lone Star this year, but I don't know. Maybe we can figure out a way to do it. Cobra also played in the gold bracket of CTWC in 2024, and if you made it out to some regionals, you might have seen Cobra at the Oklahoma regional last year. That was the one played at Blue Scooty's hometown library. So yeah, that is a regional tournament. So when you see, CTWC going, oh, we've got dozens of regional tournaments. And it's like, well, yeah, some of them are played at the library. Like, okay. But anyway, that was what Cobra did. On the right-hand side, Somalian defeated Shqdwnight in round 1 to get here to round 2. Had a 1.18 million qualifier. Somalian with a overall PB of 1.63 million. That's good for about 58th. He's a 2-time hopeful circuit winner, 2-time challenger circuit winner. Those are all done in 2021 and 2022. And Somalian has also played in Mega Masters the last 4 years. Every single time that we've had one, he's been in it. Somalian was in the gold bracket of CTWC in 2021, 22, and 24. Also played in the Classic Tetris European Championship in their online years because, why not? That's a PAL tournament. Somalian's like, well, do I have to be in Europe? No, I just have to play PAL? Okay, I'll play. 384 for Somalian, 442 for Cobra. Of course, before and after those 2 years, CTEC was an in-person event. Cobra won Boston 2025. Oh, shoot. I guess I didn't update my thing. Yeah, the last time I updated that section, the Boston results were not added to Liquipedia. So, okay, Cobra is a winner of the Boston, 2 Boston, 2T, 2 parody, whatever it was. The Boston T Parody 2. $537 for Cobra through 108, gets a Tetris 560. $521 for Somalian through 112. So when the lines are tied, Somalian is back by about 38,000 points. It's a little under 2 Tetrises. Tetris is on 18 worth 22,800. Triples are worth 1/4 of that. That's why it's much better to get Tetrises versus triples if you can do it. $675 for Cobra into 19. This is a big tournament pace. $595 for Somalian into 19. That's a pretty good pace as well. Tetris for Somalian. There's one Cobra. 3-line difference. About a 35,000 point difference. Another Tetris Cobra level 20. Somalian's on 20, gets a Tetris. He's into 21. Two Boston, 2 parody. Got it. Yeah, it's the Fractal tournament with all the speed hack ROM and all that other stuff. Very, very different kind of tournament, which is good. I like to see different kinds of tournaments, different parameters and modes and things like that. Just like Stupid Tetris Monthly, that'll be returning in July. 811 for Somalian. 892 for Cobra. Cobra gets another one. 921. Tetris Somalian. He's got it covered well now. 870. Cobra now He's got a little gap in the stack there and a covered right side, column 10. So he's going to get to work trying to bring this down. He's set up again. And he has to cover, and now he uncovers and gets a dirty. Got a couple rows over a column 10 well. Uncovers that and gets a regular conventional column 10 Tetris. Max out for Cobra on 25. 969 on 25 for Somalian. So two good scores. Somalian still back by about 50,000 points or so. Same line count. They get simul Tetrises. Tetris is on 26 worth 32,400. There's one for Cobra. Somalian with the max. Getting a little droughted from 26 into 27. And they get long bars and they get Tetrises. A45 Somalian, B31 for Cobra. Both are into 28 now. Both with the 1.1. Tetris, Somalian, B48, B71, Cobra. Cobra gets one. He's just going to skim a single into 29 at CO7. He's got the 1.2. Somalian with the B90. Tetris, Cobra, C47. Oh, the middle of Somalian's board. He has to kind of dead drop a couple of pieces here, and that's going to be a top out for Somalian at B97. Cobra, you are good in game number 1. And as soon as I find my scores here, we will do that. There we go. All right, players, new pieces for y'all. They are here. C2EE47. Okay, Cobra has gone away. All right, he is back. All right, let me refresh Cobra again. The pieces when you're ready. Oh, the new giveaway! Exclamation point join. Car in the window gifted a CTM Throwback Bear tribute water bottle. Exclamation point join, y'all. Let's refresh this young man again. And yeah, C2EE47, C2EE47. All right, I gotta get my priorities. Give the pieces to the players. Cobra, you okay? You okay, Cobra? And now Somalian is like paused here. Oh, you had an ad? Oh, shoot. Well, are you going to buy the thing that was in the ad? I got to refresh Somalian. Look at him. He's just looking up here. If we made a Somalian statue, it would look like this, I think. All right. Looks like both players, well, we'll see. There's still a little swirly on Cobra's thing here. Just make 1,000,000% sure these players are moving. And look, Captain, you are the winner, Somalian. After all this, you are the winner. Okay, let me refresh again. Cobra, what is up with your internet? Is this me? Is this on my side? There we go. It's on Cobra's side. Okay. Well, I'm not excited about starting this game, but we got to do it. Round 2, Cobra versus Somalian. Both players are ready. Let's just hope they're both on seed because I don't want to check anymore. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Okay, 68,000 for Cobra, 47,000 for Somalian. All right, Cobra with a covered well and then another covered well, so he's got to uncover a couple of wells before he can be ready. And a couple of bars here. Cobra with the Tetris, 145, 142 for Somalian. Sadly, internet sometimes fails. All right. Thank you, Darth Bunny, for the perspective on the internet. All right, little uncover the well for Somalian. He gets a Tetris and another one, 189, 191 for Cobra. $257 Somalian, 238 for Cobra. Tetris Somalian, 309, 287 for Cobra. I guess we're getting a lot of bars. Somalian setting up long bar, column 9. He's got a big high board, fairly orderly, but he's knocking it down with Tetrises. Nice little S flat. Something I'm finally doing in games thanks to Nestris.org. You get enough repetitions, so it's saying that's the right thing to do. It's like finally starting to get in my brain. And to see those opportunities and to be able to react quickly enough to get them. So I don't know. There's something is happening to my game here where I could see me maxing out this year for real. I was deluded those previous years. Now, this time, it really could happen. Tetris, Somalian 409, 369 for Cobra. There's a Tetris Cobra 438, 477 Somalian. The winner of this match does move on to the round of 16, where Sidnev is waiting. Sidnev getting that 2-round bye and that automatic top 16 entry in virtue of her top 8 qualifier. The qualifier really means a lot more now in the flat bracket era of CTM. Back in the old days, all you really had to do was avoid that 16 seed, just in case you got, usurped by the Challenger Circuit winner. But now, if the Challenger Circuit didn't win or didn't already make it in. But now there's a lot to be gained by having a very good qualifier. Top 8, they get a 2-round bye, automatic entry into the top 16. The 9th through 16th player gets to skip round 1. So there's a lot riding on it. 522 for Cobra, 578 for Somalian. And Somalian's board kind of a mess here. What can he do to bring this down? Well, he can get squares left and right. He can uncover that left side. And Somalian's bringing it down. That bar is going to help a lot. And Somalian opens, gets a long bar in 620. And he's still got the lead and an advantage in lines. He is behind in lines. And he's got the lead. There is a Tetris Somalian 648. A party down the middle for Cobra. He's at 626. Can transfer that well over to column 10, where it belongs. Tetris Somalian 678. All right, Cobra not going to be able to use that bar for a Tetris, but can use this bar for a Tetris down the middle. 661 for him, 734 for Somalian. Sergio says, Stupid Tetris Monthly this July? Yes, STM returns. It will be similar but not identical to the previous iteration. It'll be updated for 2025. A lot of the same modes will be coming back. We'll add some modes, maybe delete some modes. Tetris Gym makes some additional modes available, so it will be updated. 825 for Somalian, and it will be, 32 players. Would be interesting to maybe do it like 64 players, like mega stupid Tetris Monthly, but I don't know if we want to do it that way. 761 Cobra, 888 Somalian. And Tap Masters will debut as well. And that will be a tapping focus tournament. DAS is allowed. Rolling most certainly is not. And anything similar to rolling, not allowed. 960 for Somalian, 841 for Cobra. STM was still pre-gym era. Yeah, it was. Maybe there... If it was out, it was not really that... It wasn't required in Masters, for example. And then when we started to require same piece sets, I shipped a lot of gym carts out to people. I wonder, I probably could come up with a list, but I'm sure there's still people in this tournament now playing on the gym carts that I sent them. Cobra's into 29 at 987 with a covered well. Somalian in at A84 gets a Tetris B19. Both players into level 30 now. Oh no, Somalian's right hand. Okay, gets a bar over B42. Cobra with a good looking board here. I think he's just trying to keep it low and safe. And oh no, it's Somalian going to top out at B45. So Cobra, yeah, I think Cobra was basically just kind of playing fairly conservatively until, you know, expecting a Somalian top out at some point. And then just to see what he needed and to just stick around and not top out early. But now he's here and he can chase this down and he's got time. B46 is the target. And we'll see if that plan is going to work here for Cobra. He's got to bring this stack down. Tetrises on 34 are worth 42,000, so he's within one Tetris now. He does not have to get it by way of the Tetris. His triples are worth 10,000. Doubles worth 3,500. So we can definitely single and double this. $30 lines to go. He does not have to get all this with a Tetris, and that's going to do it. Cobra is good in game number 2 and goes up 2 games to none. GG's to both of our players. Okay, new pieces for these individuals. 30CD28, 30CD28. We do have a prize pool for this tournament. If you want to see the prize pool get bigger, then, you know, you're the person that can help. Use the Matcherino command if you're watching live on YouTube and Twitch. The second link in the text that will come up is the one for this event. Click on that. It'll take you to the landing page for this tournament with our prize pool partner, Matcherino. So please, more ads. Cobra. Somebody give this man Twitch Turbo. The prize pool stands currently at $225. You know, we're just beginning here in May. Although not really, we're kind of in the middle. And I think one of the things that's going to hurt the prize pool this month is just being so close to Mega Masters. And, you know, people are pretty tapped from that. And maybe saving up for CTWC, but we got to run it. I mean, players did not. I was considering taking off this month, but multiple players said we really need a Masters event to like tune up into CTWC. And I said, okay. $30CD28, $30CD28. Game number 3. Cobra is up 2 games to none. Somalian needs to win this one to stay in the tournament. 3-2-1. Tetris. Thank you, Summer B, for bringing up the links. What is the pot for CTWC? I have no idea. I mean, they start off, I think, generally, they start off with about 10,000, or at least the last few years anyway, they start off with 10,000 from the Tetris company. So that's awesome for them. It's fun to have a prize pool, but I feel like it's mostly love of the game for the players. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think, if we didn't have the prize pool, I think some players would. Let's put it this way: there are some players who are able to get the walking around money that they need, by playing Tetris rather than getting a part-time job or something like that. So the prize pool really helps. It does help motivate the players. Doesn't mean you play for the money, right? Any more than when you have a career, well, you only have your career for the money. No, you have your career because, if you have a career because, you love the work, but you do need to support yourself, and you do that, there's no conflict between being motivated by the money and being motivated by the thing. You don't love your work? Oh, I'm sorry about that, Summer B. It's good if you can get yourself to a place where eventually you can. It's not always possible. Sometimes you got to take jobs that suck for a while. That's part of it. $232 for Somalians, $174 for Cobra. I mean, it's just like CTM. Am I doing CTM because, for the money? No, clearly not. I was making way more at another thing, but on the other hand, it sort of has to be there so I can continue to do it at the level that I want to do it and improve the stream and spend the time that I spend on it. So, there's no conflict between the two necessarily. Believe me, nobody gets into running a Tetris tournament for the money, but you still need to have it, $355 for Somalian, $317 for Cobra. Okay, 364 Cobra, 401 for Somalian. The winner goes to the top 16. We don't know when that's going to be, but hopefully soon. Vizamp said, this guy is monitoring chat while he plays. Unreal. Yeah, I don't know how these players do that. I mean, I know how they do it. They move their head and look at the chat while they're playing, but why they do it, I don't know. I don't know. They have reasons of their own that I'll never comprehend. All right, Somalia not going for the delayed Vits with that 5-high wall and an S-piece coming. Imagine not going for the Vits. 483 for Somalian, 418 for Cobra. I got a little Vits happy in my play, but Nestris Champs is kind of... now I'm more interested in playing well rather than just spamming Vitses for no reason. 530 for Somalian, 450 for Cobra. Somalian into 19. He's at 599. Cobra is in at 503. All right, Somalian gets a long bar over 630. Somalian really puts his entire body into these, into these rolls left, all the way left and right. Body English needed to get it over. Tetris for Cobra 609, 691 for Somalian. So yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fun events 2025. I mean, we have we've had our Mega Masters. We're gonna have our Tap Masters, our Stupid Tetris Monthly. We're going to have the Extreme Sports with the Berenstain Bears World Championship 2022. That's going to go in October. That will not be a Masters level event. That is an entirely separate event. 756 Somalian. Okay, S flat. That works. Long bar over. Tetris Somalian 787. He's up by 130,000 points. Tetris Cobra 717. There's another one, 747. 100,000 point lead. Somalian one line apart. Tetris Somalian. It's Somalian 921, 842 Cobra. There's another Tetris Somalian. Cobra uncovers that right side well, but still has some work to do to get some of these holes out of the board. He does it. He's open. He's skimming. He's Tetrising. 884 for Cobra. 990 for Somalian. Somalian still stacking clean, getting Tetrises. Skimming a Tetris there for Somalian. He's got the max out on 28, A27. Tetris Cobra 953. Still 100,000 point lead-ish for Cobra. For Somalian. Now that the lines are tied, it's about an 80,000 point lead. Somalian into 29, gets a Tetris B38. Somalian trying to find another gear on 29. He's got a lead. In fact, he's had a lead twice against Cobra going into 29. B62 Somalian, A83 for Cobra. Cobra just gets a long bar over for a triple. And maybe it's kind of that same approach here where he's just trying to stay alive. Maybe trying to sort of outlast Somalian on 29 and then come back and chase it down. But Somalian really not showing a lot of signs of slowing down at all. And Tetris for Cobra, but his board is kind of jacked up here. Somalian with a Tetris C30. He's ahead by 50,000 points. Cobra's board climbing a bit. Somalian with a great looking board and Cobra with the exact opposite. And that is going to be cut off, and Somalian is good. He was ahead nearly the entire way and is going to outlast Cobra in lines and score on 29. So Somalian has taken game number 3 and has hung on to stay in this tournament. force a game 4. All right, Somalian is excited. New pieces when you're ready, players. 1D06E2. So the new pieces, yeah, 1D06E2. I'll pin him this time. Thank you, Monthly Tetris, for pinning the seed. Somali just wants to delay my dinner. He's like, Vandy, you need to not eat for as long as possible. And you know he's right. 1D06E2. Okay, looks like both players are ready. Game number 4. Cobra up 2-1. Somalian. If he can win this one, will force a deciding game 5. We're underway. Game 4, level 18. It's a welcome rest, I'm sure, for these players after, 150 lines of level 19 and level 29. I mean, the players can even regard this as like, oh, this is a nice change of pace, and it's like still screamingly fast for most of the rest of us. Yeah, that previous game, Somalian was ahead like most of the time, kind of found another gear. Kind of that same energy where it's like, oh, it's my last game of my qualifier. Now I can step it up. Or my paper is due, in 8 hours and I haven't started. And, oh, I'm down 2 games to none and about to be eliminated. You're digging from that same well, that same reserve. $233 for Somalian, $174 Cobra. Cobra working 2 rows off the bottom. He's got a too high gap in column 2. And a little bit of a stingy seed, I think. I haven't looked at the actual stats, but seems board's kind of getting pretty high without Tetrises, but now they're knocking it down. 225 Cobra, 304 for Somalian. And Somalian now halfway to the 19 transition with a 305. So this would put Somalian at a 600K transition if he can keep this pace up. Cobra with the dirty Tetris. He's going to expose that gap in column 2. But he has to kind of build right back on top of it. Can't find something to fill it in. So now he's going to be working 1 row off the bottom. And has to create another gap. Takes a triple, though, to burn it all away. Gets a Tetris, Cobra. 1 row dirty, 302. Mr. Brain says, the way players can play DAS these days, I'm not so sure that tappers have much of an advantage over DAS players. Well, we're certainly going to see that because in Tap Masters, DAS is allowed. You are not forced to hyper tap the entire time. So hybrid players and just straight, DAS mains will be able to play in that tournament. Basically, DAS and then any kind of single finger button attack, right, for the directional pad. Those are allowed. Multi-finger attacks like rolling, while it's one finger that's actually on the button, it's not, it doesn't fall within the rules. And then there are versions of hyper tapping which are kind of multi-finger attacks, which not really in the spirit of tap and are kind of playstyles on their own. 542 for Somalian, 449 for Cobra. Hana says it's going to be like the same 10 names at the top. I mean, yeah, all the best tappers pretty much are all the best rollers at this point. But there are players that like only tap. So, Dylan will, if Dylan plays, Dylan would be in the mix. I would love to have Dylan there. I'm going to try to reach out to some of the tappers that have maybe not played in CTM in a while and see if they're interested. We're into 19, and Somalian does have that 600K transition, 547 for Cobra through 137. So right now, about a 65,000 point lead. Somalian, somewhere in there, when their lines are the same. Cool Ice Age. Yeah, there are players that really have not, done too much with rolling. So maybe we can get Nanu, to play. So spread the word. If there, I don't know every single player that, so if you have some tappers in your personal, in your Fave 5 or whatever. Is there a Fave 5 anymore? If you've got, if you got a tapping players that that are in your circle, let them know that it's happening. 731 for Somalian, 691 for Cobra. Mark, yeah, Mark does play in. He played in Mega Masters, so he knows that it exists. But yeah, he doesn't really come out for Masters too often on its own. But he might come out for a tap tournament. 779 for Cobra. The problem is Mark's gonna be running the DAS tournament in Germany, so it might be hard to schedule on a late weekend. But that's okay. We'll go late if we have to. We need this to happen. 786 Cobra, 884 for Somalian. And we need it to happen where, we need to happen in a month where players aren't super focused on, Masters, like a traditional Masters, because switching back and forth between rolling and tapping and all that kind of thing. In a month with a real traditional Masters, probably not ideal. Somalian in the lead, long bar down the middle, 958 for him on 26, 888 for Cobra. Cobra's going to spin that S in. Long bar, Tetris, Cobra. Or Tetris, Cobra, 958. Now 991. Tetris, Somalian, A63. They're one line apart. Somalian ahead by like 70,000 points as we head into 29. Just a few lines away. That's Spire for Somalian. Not great heading into 29. We'll see what he can do if he's going to try to chop it down. Oh, and he's really going for it. So this is pretty risky for Somalian. Longbar does get over for a Tetris. He wrenches it over. B48 for him. He's got to find a way to bring this down. And yeah, he's not really gonna. That's a top out Somalian at B48, the target for Cobra. B49. And yeah, Tetris is here worth 36,000. Triple's worth, north of 9,000 now. So he's just about a triple away. Well, actually 11. I'm sorry, 40. Yeah, there we go. 9,000. So and he's got it. So Cobra's got it. Cobra has taken game number 4 and defeated Somalian 3-1. GG's to you, Cobra. And GG's Somalian came out won round 1. Had a really, really good game number 3 in this one for Somalian as well. He kind of found another gear when he needed to. And he was ahead most of the way here in game 4. But made a kind of a risky decision, I think, heading into 29. And just was not able to survive. And of course, Cobra, maybe it's against a player like Cobra, it's worth taking the risk. So a little bit of a gamble there for Somalia, not necessarily going to pay off. But Cobra is good, and you will be moving on to the top 16 to take on Sidnev. So GG's Cobra and GG's to Somalia, and always good to have you. So this will go in the books as a 3-1 for Cobra, and then we will show you the brackets and show you what the situation is. So there's our top 16. Let's refresh that so that it shows. There it is. So we're really just waiting on one more match to solidify our top 16. And let me check and just see what the status of that is, like when. Yeah, that's a little bit of a messy bracket, so I don't really have any insight as to when that will be. That one is gonna be Knight versus Armstrong, winner versus Andy. But that one, yeah, that one is in a that one's not really. I don't have any insight to when that's going to get scheduled, but we got plenty of time. It's only May 14th, so it'll be fine. Tomorrow is when we have more Tetris for you. So yeah, we're basically now into the top 16, except for that one orange bracket. Tomorrow is going to be Das Masters Red. That's just a solo match. I wish we could do that on a different day if we're only going to have one stream that day, but maybe I'll do some streaming before or after that one just to kind of, you don't want to ping everyone for one match, but that's going to be Salted Sofa versus Poopy Old Hag in the red bracket round 2. The winner of that will go to the top 16. Saturday, we've got 2 streams for you. Das Masters Orange, round 1, round 2. That'll be Knight versus Doodle, winner versus Fractal. That's at noon in Texas, or 17 UTC. And then immediately after that, it's going to be Masters Green with Dog versus Tugi, SV versus Deck, the top right-hand corner, those 2 matches. And then the winner versus the winner for our first top 4. Oh, no, tomorrow. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I totally got that wrong. Tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow, that'll be our first top 4 person. That is Masters Red and Pink. That is tomorrow at 5:30. For some reason, I thought today was Thursday. Friday. All right, so scratch some of the stuff we said. Tomorrow, Red versus Pink, Dangler Fractal Scooty. Don't miss that. That's at 5:30 Texas time, 22:30 UTC. Dangler Fractal Scooty. Friday at 7 p.m. That is Das Masters Red 2 Sofa versus Poopy. And then Saturday, the two things that I said. Will there be a Masters in June? Yeah, there will be a Masters June. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. We're going to do a Masters June. This one isn't starting late. All the qualifiers come in the last week anyway. So it really doesn't matter when you start qualifiers because nobody does them early anyway. So yeah, we're not starting late. This Masters event for May didn't start late. It started on time. We started it before the end of Mega Masters, so we're fine. We are totally fine, Sergio. We are 100% fine. So we're going to have one June and a traditional Masters August, September, October, November. Might be no cap again if we want to continue with that format. So yeah, we're totally fine. We got plenty of regular Masters happening. And yeah, I don't know. I actually kind of like having the qualifiers open mid-month because, to be honest, when you do it early in the month, like maybe you get 5 to 10 people out of like 150 who qualify early, but they end up usually not saving their VODs and then they disappear. Whereas at least within 2 weeks, like you have a good chance of no VODs expiring. Crash enabled on no cap. Yeah, I don't know. That would be interesting actually. Maybe we'll bring that. Cause like once you've gotten to the crash, like that's enough. It's not a cap on the original cart. I don't know. It would be kind of fun to see like, Rebirth and Masters, but it would take 2 hours. I mean, that would be insane. It would be just one game. So maybe we'll add crash enabled. I think it still counts as uncapped because the game is just, the original game doesn't have a cap and that's part of the original game. So I don't know. Maybe we'll do crash enabled just to spice it up. It's not going to affect much. No Lone Star this year, at least the month we normally do it. There's a remote possibility we might do something toward the end of the year or the beginning of next year during the cooler months here in Austin. It's the original cap, right? OG cap November. Anyway, blah, 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 blah. Join us tomorrow, 5:30 p.m. Texas time. 10:30 at night UTC, so 22:30 UTC for Dangler Fractal Scooty. And yeah, that's it. Thanks to those of you who contributed to the channel during this stream, including Mirrorman as a follow and resubs Burbia and Pidgeotto, two bird-related names. So thank you for all the birds coming out. Burbia and AO Pidgeotto. Thanks to our patrons for supporting the channel, including double sticker, and community level member Scott Gray J in the window, K9 and Tacky at Mega Masters, Corporal Shelby, Masters, Troy Dan, Kim M, Rogue Potato Cat, Kit McMonkey, Mila, bracket sponsor. Thank you. Patreon.com/monthly Tetris is where you can support the channel. Also, we had a giveaway done during the stream, so thank you to what was it, Carnation or Car something, whoever it was. Appreciate that, and congrats to the winner, Somalian. Thank you very much. And then we didn't have any. No, we did have contributions to the prize pool. Oh, we did. Did I miss them? Abby Normal. Thank you so much, Abby Normal with the 10. And Summer B with the 25. So Summer B 25. Thank you, Summer B. And Abby Normal with the 10. That brings us up to $260 in the prize pool. Really appreciate that. And the players really do as well. So do what you can, folks, to support the prize pool. I know it's tough after Mega Masters. A lot of y'all are tapped. And it's tough to keep going back to the well. But this is what drives this tournament. And it's you know, it continues as long as we can pay the players and keep the channel going. So thank you, everybody, for helping out. Really appreciate that. Okay, YouTube, you are dismissed. Have a great night. See you tomorrow. Thank you, Mr. Brain, Silver Sauce, Sergio, Josh, Oguzhan, Random, and everybody else. Take care. Bye-bye. Twitch, let's find a place for